Oh, this is entertaining. Bruce in Aurora, Colorado. You don't mind if the government's following you around?
Of course not. I ain't got nothing to hide, man.
Okay.
I have nothing to hide at all.
Great. Well, here's my riff, and let me just repeat it real quickly. Is by your saying that may well be true for you, and you may, in your whole entire life, never ever want to stand up to the government. You may never be, slapped down by a police officer, and you feel that it was wrong in a way that was wrong, and you want to take it on, or you may never want to show up at a political protest rally or anything at all. But by saying that you don't mind the government snooping on absolutely everything you do, scooping up all your emails, all the websites that you visit, by saying that, you're basically saying that you're not going to be ever a political activist, but you're essentially forcing everybody in America to never be a political activist, which means it's the end of political activism. Isn't that a bad thing?
Well, in a way, it's a more of a double-edged sword. Okay, as far as email goes, you send an email, you type an email, you send an email, somebody deletes it. Where does it go? It has to go somewhere. If you deleted it, it means that you didn't really want it or didn't need it.
No, but when it got sent, that's when the government grabbed it, is when it passed through the servers. So whether you deleted it or not, it's still sitting on the government's computer years later.
But it can sit on anybody's computer. I mean, I've gotten junk mail from people that I don't know that's not part of the government. But just to get to the story, to the point is this. Most Americans, they will not compromise security over privacy. It's a double-edged sword. They want security, but they don't want it. They want privacy, but they don't want it. I know a couple of months ago it was about the drone. Mm-hmm. You put a guy in a helicopter, that's a drone. If you like it or not, that's a drone.
Sure.
It's okay to chase somebody while high-speed chase a criminal with a helicopter. That's a drone. That's some form of a drone. It helps us out for national security.
I don't disagree with you on that, Bruce. On the other hand, if that drone is going to be parked in the sky in a way that it's looking into my bedroom window for hours and hours every day, I think that that's only appropriate if somebody has gone before a judge. This is what the Fourth Amendment requires. If somebody has gone before a judge and sworn under oath that they believe that a crime is being committed in that bedroom, and then then the judge issues a warrant, and then the police have the authority to use that drone to spy on us. But otherwise, I got no problem with using drones as traffic helicopters. It's a lot cheaper, probably a lot safer. Using drones for police work, looking for speeders, whatever. I mean, it's just like you're absolutely right. It's just a less expensive version of a helicopter. But a helicopter can't hover outside your bedroom window for hours.
But has there been any cases of a drone hanging outside of somebody's window, looking at somebody undressed or anything like that? And there's been cases of peeping Toms looking through windows.
Bruce, there was. Do you remember? This was about 3 years ago. It was a big scandal. It was in the news, but although you might have missed it, but I caught it because I do the news every day here, so I can't not pay attention to the news. Where there was a group of, I believe they were NSA people. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they were, who were listening in on the intimate and very often sexual telephone conversations between soldiers in Iraq and their wives back here in the United States. These were supposed to be secure, protected communications. These guys were hacking in on them. And some of them were Skype things, so there were pictures, and women would flash themselves and things like that. And they were making discs of this stuff and swapping them around, and it got busted. They got busted. It got out in the open. But the fact that the government had that information now, and that's in an environment where the watchers are actually being watched. I mean, that's how they got busted. Their chain of command caught them at that, as far as I recall. But now we've got a situation where nobody's watching the watchers, as far as we can tell. So they may well be having a drone outside your bedroom window, and you don't know about it, and I don't know about it.
Okay, that may be true. And as far as that story goes, I've heard bits and pieces of it through over the barbecue grill beer conversation type deal.
Yeah. I think
my personal opinion is this: sometimes, hello.
Yeah, you're on the air.
Sometimes we have to protect ourselves from ourselves, and what I mean by that those guys are serving our country with honor and integrity. But at times, I believe that some type of internal affairs have to be implemented because you never know. Even in our government, stuff has been leaked.
Oh, nobody was, I'm not objecting. I don't think the soldiers were objecting to the government having the ability to monitor those conversations or even occasionally dipping in just to make sure that they're just talking about sex. Where they stepped over the line was when they started listening to hour-long conversations, videotaping them, audio taping them, making sex tapes for, to pass along to their friends and things like this. And this is just about sex. I mean, what happens when it gets more serious? What happens when it becomes, they're gonna come after you? I mean, look at what J. Edgar Hoover tried to do against Martin Luther King. He actually sent an agent to just nakedly suggest to Martin Luther King that he should simply commit suicide because they had the tape of him having an affair and they were going to release it to the public and it was going to devastate his family and all this kind of stuff. And King just basically told him where to put it. But I mean, that was the corruption of power by J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI back in the day that Frank Church brought out. They got brought out in the Church Committee hearings in 72 and 73, and we put an end to that right up until 2001, and then George Bush flipped the switch, and now we're back to Richard Nixon time. And it's a libertarian conservative mantra to say I don't trust the government. But I think all of us should say somebody needs to be watching the watchers. Bruce, thanks a lot for the call. Good to hear from you, and thanks for listening there in Colorado to AM 760.